What's up, these attackers? In this video, we're going to solve 5 of the questions that is going to show up on the October SAT. So if you're taking the October test, this video is for you because you're going to see some of these questions on your test. So watch this video until the end and make sure that you solve all of these questions and learn them because you're going to see some of them. And if you want to guarantee a 1450 plus on your next SAT, you can watch the free training down below this video, which is I'll show you the exact process how you can get the 1450 plus by your next SAT guaranteed. You can check it out. But now let's move on to prediction number 1. So the first question says, in the given equation, C is a constant. The equation has no real solutions if C is larger than n. What is the least possible value of n? So what you can do in this question is, you have a constant C and the equation has no real solutions. If C is larger than n, we're looking for the value of n. The equation has no real solutions. That's what the question is telling us. So that means the discriminant is negative, which means the b squared minus 4ac should be negative here. So that means 4, which is 2 squared, minus 4 times 1 times c should be negative. That means 4 minus 4c should be negative. So that means, let's move this 4c to the other side. It's going to be 4 is less than 4c. Divide both sides by 4. That's going to give us 1 less than c. So we got the same thing as here. C is larger than n, or in other words, c is larger than 1. What is the least possible value of n? It's going to be 1 here. So choice C is the answer for this question. That's how you do it. Always ask for you the discriminant and asking you like no solution, real solution, asking you for the maximum value of n or the least value of n. Awesome. Let's move on to question number 2. In this question, this is a geometry question that most of the students are struggling, and it's a question that shows up in the second module as the hard question. So here in this question, it says a right square pyramid has a surface area of this much square inches, which includes a base area of 100 square inches. What is the height in inches of this pyramid? Now this question has a trick, which I'm going to tell you at the end of the solution. But let's just solve what the question is asking us for this one right now. So this says right square pyramid has a surface area. So we have a right square pyramid that is gonna look like this. Okay, this is how a square pyramid would look like, and the surface area is this much. Now how do we find the surface area of a square pyramid? That is the area of the space plus the area of the 4 lateral faces. It also includes a base area of 100 square inches. So the area of the base is 100 square inches. Now here it already is given this in this 100 plus something. So this is the area of the base, and this is the area of the 4 lateral faces, right? The surface area of the 4 lateral faces. So by doing that, by knowing that this is the area of the 4 lateral faces, let's divide it by 4 to get area of one of the lateral faces. So 20 square root 146 divided by 4 is going to give us 5 square root of 146. This is the area of one of these lateral faces, right? So how do we find the area of one of the lateral faces? We're going to do base times height divided by 2, right? So the base here is, we don't know what is the base, but we know that the area of the base is 100, right? That's the area of the base. So if that's 100, that means each side is 10. 10 times 10 gives us 100. So the base here is 10. So 10 times the height, the height of the triangle, which is the slant height of the pyramid. This is very important. Sometimes the questions are just asking us what is the slant height of the pyramid, and sometimes it's asking us what is the height of the pyramid. They are two different things. Like if you have a pyramid, if I want to draw a better pyramid here for you guys and show you that this is the height of the pyramid from this to this point, but here from this point to this point is the slant height of the pyramid. So this is the slant height, this is the normal height. So pay attention what the question is asking us. Okay, that is the tricky part of these pyramid questions. So right now we have the height. That's what the question is asking us. So 10 times this slant height, 10 times the slant height, so I'll put sh, divided by 2 is equal to 5 square root 146. So what is this slant height? So this 2 and this 10 cancels 5. So this 5 and this 5 cancel. So we have the slant height as square root of 146, right? So slant height is root 146. Okay, now we need to find the normal height of the pyramid. So this basically slant height is square root of 146. This is what we're looking for, and we can also know this because we know that this is 10, and from here to here is basically half of that. So this is 5. So if I take this triangle which is inside the pyramid, this triangle outside, it's gonna look like this. 5 here, this is the height, and this is the square root of 146. By using Pythagorean theorem, we can find what is the value of this, right? So square of this is gonna give us 146 is equal to 5 square, which is 25, plus x squared. So here 146, let's just do that on decimals. I'm gonna do 146 minus 25, 121, and the square root of 121 gives us 11. We already know that, but let's just write it, 11. So that means the height is 11, and that is the answer for this question. This was slightly hard question. You might see this in the hard section, the second module, as the last one of the last questions in the October SAT. So make sure that you learn these questions. There is variations of this questions, pyramid questions, they might ask you for stand height, so try to find a stand height. They might ask you for maybe the volume of the pyramid, so try to do that. You know, they can make the same question in different ways that to trick you, and basically, but all of the questions is going to be asking you the same topic, the same concept. So if you dial in the concept, if you learn the concept, the rest of the questions is going to be easy. Question number 3, you're doing very good. If you've solved the first 2 questions, just pause the video, try question number 3 and see if you can solve it. If you do, awesome. If not, just watch the solution. How are we going to solve this? It says, which of the following expressions has a factor of x plus 2b, where b is a positive integer constant? Okay, if one of these expressions, like if these expressions has a factor x plus 2b, that means I can write this as x plus 2b times x plus something, right? If I can do that, if they're factors, because x times here should give us 2x squared, so that means here is actually 2x, because we're gonna distribute these factors. So x times 2x is gonna be 2x squared. Awesome. And 2b times this should be 18b, so that means here is 9, right? So now we're gonna distribute this and see what we're gonna get. It's gonna give us 2x squared plus 9x plus 4bx plus 18b. Now this is exactly the same thing as here. The only difference is here. We have, if we factor x's here, we're gonna get 9. I'm gonna factor that. We're gonna get 9 plus 4bx, right? Which is 9x, which should be this part basically. So that means 9 plus 4b should be equal to 9, right? So if I set that 9 equals 9 plus 4b, 9s will cancel out. We're gonna get 0 here if we move 9 to the other side. So we're gonna have 4b equals to 0, and this gives us b equals 0. But the question said b is a positive integer. B is 0 is not a positive integer, so this choice is out. That's how you do these questions. You basically do this, factor this, write this in factored form, distribute this, see what is gonna be in the b, what's gonna be here, which should be equal to this, and then find the value of b and see if it is a positive integer or not. And now we're gonna repeat the same thing, but in all the choices, these 2x squared 18b, 2x squared 18b, these are all the same. The only difference is here. Okay, so it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be give us the same thing, 9x plus 4b. So I'm just going to set these equal. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 9x plus 4b equals to 19. So here it's gonna be 9x equals, so again I'm gonna set this 9 plus 4b equals 19 for the second choice. So it's gonna be 4b equals to 10, and b is gonna be equal to 10 over 4, which is a positive number, but it's not an integer, right? 10 over 4 is 2.5, so it's not an integer, so this is also out. Okay, and we do the same thing. We're gonna set that equal to 20. So 9 plus 4b equals 20. This is gonna give us 4b equals 11, and again b is gonna be equal to 11 over 4, which is not an integer, so this is also out. Choice D is the answer, right? And if you want to make sure that that is the answer, it's going to be 9 plus 4b equals 29. This is going to give us 4b equals 20, and b is equal to 20 divided by 4, which is 5, which is a positive integer. That's why choice D is the answer. Now a quick tip here, when you get to these questions, the only way to solve this question is checking the choices. And when you have a question like this, when you have to check the choices to be able to solve the question, then most probably 99% of the times the answer is choice D, because they want you to waste time by checking choice A, B, C, and then finally get into choice D. Right? So always in these type of questions that you need to check the choices, always the answer is D. I've taken SAT multiple times, I got multiple perfect math scores, and I've never seen a question like this type of question, that the answer wasn't choice D. So it's a quick tip from me. But now let's move on to question 4. And before doing that, if you want to guarantee a 1450 plus SAT score by your next SAT, we made a free training for you that I show you the exact process our students are following to get a 1450 plus on the next SATs guaranteed. I put the link in the description, you can check it out. Now let's go to question number 4. Alright, question number 4 is another common question that I've seen on the SAT multiple times, and I predict that it's going to show up in the October SAT. In this question, we have a rectangular region. So I'm going to draw a rectangular region here that has been divided into 88 square lots of equal area A in square units. The length of the region is 5.5 times the width. So if here is width, the length is 5.5 width, okay? If the length of the region is x root A units, what is the value of x? Okay, so first of all, the area of this region is divided into 88 square units. Okay, so the area of this unit, this rectangular region, is width times length. So W times 5.5 W. And if we divide it by 88, so we're dividing basically the area into 88 equal parts, that is going to be equal to A, right? The same A as here. So I'm going to write that first equation. I'm going to do 5.5 W times W, so it's going to be W squared, divided by 88 should be equal to A. That's the value of A. And the second, so this is our first equation that we got. We found the area of the rectangular region divided by 88 and set it equal to A. That's what the first sentence already told us. So this is basically a word problem, geometry word problem, that you need to translate the sentences into equations. It's going to give you a system of equations, and then you plug it into decimals and solve it. Easy. Now, the second one is going to be the width of the region. Oh, no, the length of the region is this. So the length, which is 5.5 W, is equal to x root A. All right. What is the value of x? That's it. Okay. So what we will do, this is A. Let's just plug this thing into here and put that into decimals and then solve for the value of x. We can do this. Let's just write this first. I'm going to write that here. I'm going to do 5.5 W equals x root 5.5 W squared divided by 88. Now, I can take this W square outside of the square root and just write W here, okay? So it's going to be 5.5 W equals, I'll move these a little bit. There we go. It's going to be 5.5 W equals XW root 5.5 over 88, like this. Now, W's cancel out, and we have one equation here with one variable, x. We just need to find the x. So I'm just going to plug that into decimals, and it's going to solve it easily. 5.5 equals x root 5.5 divided by 88. Let's zoom out. There we go. So x is 22. Before putting this answer, I'm going to go back to the question to see what the question was asking us. It's asking us the value of x. Okay, so we found the right thing. 22 is the answer. There we go. That's how you do this question. So these are word problems. You just translate them into equations. You plug the second equation into the first one, or the first one to second, or you plug both of them into decimals and solve the system of equations and find the value that you are looking for. So let's move on to the next question. Question number 5 is a person question, which is always in the SAT. They keep repeating these questions. Make sure that you learn these person questions. They're like always there is a person question in the SAT. Whether you get the hard model or easy model, you're gonna get a person question. So in this question says the mass of an object is the same everywhere. The weight of an object is not the same on different planets. An object has a weight of 70 pounds on Earth and this much on Saturn. This is itself an equation. The object's weight on Jupiter is this much percent of its weight on Earth. So let's convert this into equation. Object's weight in Jupiter is equal to 2.528 times the object's weight in Earth. I converted percent into number by dividing by 100. If the object's weight in Saturn is x percent, so x in Saturn is equal to some like x percent basically of its weight on Jupiter, x times j. Which of the following is closest to the value of x? Awesome. So here we need an equation, j and e, and we need an equation. We are also given an equation between Earth and Saturn. So let's just write this. In the object's weight on Earth is this much pound, and on Saturn is this much pound. 74.62 is how many times 70? Let's first find that on decimals. I'm gonna do 74.62 divided by 70 gives us 1.066. So this means the object's weight on Saturn is 106.6% of an object's weight on Earth. I'm gonna write that to make it easier for you guys. The object weight on Saturn is 106.6% of Earth. Okay, so this is itself an equation. That means this sentence gives us on Saturn is equal to 1.066 times Earth. That's the equation, right? On Saturn, the object's Earth is equal to 106.6% or 1.066 times the object's weight on Earth. Using this, I can plug this into here for this equation that we're looking for, okay? So that's gonna look like this. 1.066 E is equal to x times Jupiter, and Jupiter is this much e, so I'm gonna put that here, 2.528 e. So e's cancel out, right? And we're gonna have 1.066 equals 2.528x. Now we're looking for x, very easy. Divide both sides by 2.528, so that's going to give us 1.066 divided by 2.528. That is 0.42, right? right? So converting this into percent, because the question is asking us in the percent, that's going to give us choice A is the closest to the answer. So that's how you do this question. This is a percent question, very, very important questions. So that's how you do this question. If you're looking to practice more of these questions, like if you're serious with your SAT and you want to do like more of these percent questions or the geometry questions, you can follow us on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description, or you can just search These Attackers on Instagram. Follow us and DM me there. I will send you some more questions to practice with these type of questions that shows up in the second module. And you can watch this video where I solved 4 questions that was in my previous SAT, or you can watch the free training 1450 plus guarantee free training where I show you the exact process that our students are following to get 1450 pluses 1500s in under a month. The link is in the description for that free training as well. Good luck on your SATs, and I'll see you in the next video.